Hello, Bridie. How you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you, Mike?
Very well. So, look, I thought rather than having lots and lots of separate conversations, we can kind of cover some common FAQs that may come up. Now, we call this role compliance officer, but essentially, it's really doing a lot of the compliance reviewing that is training our AI model. And we'll talk a little bit about career opportunities and things like that. But certainly this role will be around for the next 6 to 12 months. But then there's a whole range of interesting opportunities internally at Zipline thereafter. And I'll send a separate video around the sort of Zipline story and the journey, etc. But just as a quick way of reference, we work with probably approaching about 60% of Aussie aged care, and 10-20% of Aussie hospitals and growing. And one of the biggest challenges is when someone applies for a role, or if they've already got someone that's working in the workforce, is staying on top of all their compliance. And right now, teams are reviewing documents and doing all that manually, chasing people down. So our modern product does a lot of that. But there are a whole range of edge cases. There are also some government portals, particularly around getting police checks, that still need to have a human review things, or is part of training our system. And so that's what this role is. It's reviewing a lot of documentation. There is some copying and pasting into government portals, which we're looking to automate, but hence the attention to detail test, which obviously the folks watching this video did really well on. So maybe, Bridie, do you want to maybe just share a little bit of the life and the day of, and then we'll jump into, and obviously everyone will get hands-on, but maybe just to kind of prep people as they're coming in, and then we'll cover some of the more administrative FAQs.
Yeah, sure. So with the trial, we're going to give you a quick demo. Like, we'll run you through our product, what we do, and essentially that is a day in the life of a CEO. So the depth of it is not huge, but attention to detail is important, and efficiency and accuracy, highly important. So yeah, generally we work as a team. We've got several customers that we have to go across several platforms to verify various requirements, such as like NDIS, police checks, first aid certificates, qualifications, working with children. The list goes on. But yeah, that's essentially being part of the team, is getting the work done.
Yeah, great. And so Bridie leads the team, is on the tools as well, the job really well. So you'll be in good hands as you come into the office. Maybe just touch a little bit on why it's important, as to why we've got the in-office set up.
Yeah, so obviously the information that we're dealing with is quite delicate and personal, and there's a high risk of I can't think of the word, Mike. Sorry. I was like,
it's okay.
Privacy.
I mean, yes, exactly. Yeah. There are also some audit requirements, because we actually process a lot of the police checks ourselves. And so things like who can see what info on the screen, and like how documents are stored. So yeah, it's pretty sensitive information. You're going to be exposed to, healthcare workers that may have had like a court outcome, and obviously our system is there to make sure that only compliant, safe people are around vulnerable people. So it delivers an important service, but we sort of can't have people willy-nilly be on their laptops at a cafe or at home where that information isn't as secured. Then there's also the benefit of just actually being in the environment with other people in the office, particularly as you get started. Sort of swiveling your chair and asking questions. Do you want to maybe just touch a little bit on the sort of the vibe of the team, and then sort of working within the broader Zipline team, and then we'll sort of focus on the last couple of administrative items as to what to expect, and then we'll leave it there.
Yeah, sure. Look, we're a pretty close-knit team. We like to support each other. We kind of learn from our mistakes. That's generally we need to be able to take on feedback and bounce off each other, ask questions. But yeah, it's really important to flag if there's an error or a risk, so that we can work on it together, and make sure that our customers are compliant. But yeah, we're very we're very friendly. We like to support each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not an intimidating environment from
Mm.
that perspective. But also like if it is administrative processing work as well, so no problems. Pop headphones on, smash out some stuff. We use Slack as our internal instant messaging communication tool. So
Yeah.
if there's people that aren't in the office, there may be engineers or product folks to bounce off, and that's probably worth mentioning that the work that we do in this compliance. It sits within the product and engineering organization. So there's a real close knit connection to the broader product team. Do you want to maybe just touch on that, and then we'll just finish on some administrative items, and then we'll call it a wrap.
Yeah, sure. So we also, as part of this team, we also work with our support team who have
Great
our
point.
customers reach out to them. So sometimes they need us to step in and help with that. So we also have a strong connection with the support team. Making sure that we can get the customers what they want. Probably the only other thing I would mention, is that we're obviously, this role is essentially helping train AI. So we're wanting to pick up on what's not working, what we can do better, what we can make more efficient, what are the clinky bits that we can't see from the outside that we can see when we're doing the checks. Essentially, we're seeing what the customer's seeing. So
yeah, perfect. Yeah, and if you've got ideas as you come in for any of that process optimization, or you see some common trends, you're definitely not just a number or a bot just processing some paperwork. There's higher levels of collaboration. If you've got ideas, chat to Bridie, but there will be direct engagement with our AI engineering team and so forth. Just in terms of administratively, like basically come to the WeWork office. We've got a dedicated secure office space there, but meet you in the foyer, Bridie. So people now get to see your face on this video, so they'll see you beforehand. You'll come in a group of either 2 to 4. There's a high chance, the fact that you're in this like final selection, that we'll be able to offer most people who do well on the trial day. But it's a two-way conversation. There's no problems if you get halfway through the trial day and you're kind of like, actually, do you know what, this is really not for me. All good, peel off. Rather than getting you all loaded in our system for superannuation and tax and what have you, just for a single half-day trial, we'll basically just pay you the rate like directly, and sort of wire that. You can manage your own tax disclosure for that. And then certainly if you join us part-time or full-time, then we'll get you loaded in the payroll system. Anything else on the administrative side that I need to bring a laptop? Because we will obviously provide all of that.
Just casual professional dress. I'll meet you in the foyer. I'll provide you with a notebook if you don't bring one yourself, if you need to take any notes. Probably the only other thing to mention, probably in this role and obviously in general with the trial, is probably phone use is probably just something that is distracting in this role. So we tend to ask that our team keeps their personal phone use to their breaks.
Perfect.
Because it just becomes too distracting. And once you lose concentration in this role, takes a bit.
And obviously also from the privacy perspective as well, like knowing that we can say to our customers that all the confidential information that's flying around on screens, there's no risks of photos being taken. Not suggesting that would be the case, but your own personal use is in your own personal time, so that's pretty straightforward. When we've got the work clock going, let's do some great work. Obviously you can be a human and have conversations and have some light banter, like that's good, but we don't. It's a great point, sort of every 5-10 minutes whipping out your phone, scrolling through TikTok is not going to mean a successful trial on both sides. But you can do that in your own personal time and in the breaks. With that, Bridie, thanks so much. And congrats for being invited to the trial day. We're looking forward to having you. And any questions, just ask Bridie and the team on the day and thereafter.